Hi, welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Thanks for coming in and cooking with me. Today we're going to be making a chicken broccoli pasta casserole. It's delicious, easy to make, and inexpensive as heck. First of all, I'm going to start with my vacuum sealed bag. I did a chicken in the crock pot, and I decided, hey, so I have fast meals because we're all gone and we all work all day long. We don't have time to make everything from scratch. Oh, I want to tell you, this chicken smells so delicious. There's nothing better than using your crock pot. I tell you, I use my crock pot for a lot. My porks, my chicken, everything. I have some lemon pepper. Oh, it smells so good. You can smell the chicken. I put it in the crock pot for about 8 hours. It's all nice and soft. So I'm just going to dump it in here, and I'm going to leave those juices right there because that's all chicken broth from its own, creation. So I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to use the rest of this for tacos. This week, I know we're having tacos. I learned a long time ago that I had to start planning my meals because if I didn't plan my meals, I couldn't get home from work, get everything cooked, get everything done that I needed to do. So I'm going to look at, I don't actually have this even here. I may have to put some more in here. We don't want to skimp on the chicken because the chicken, the pasta, and the sauce is it. We can always add a little bit more, but I want to see 2 cups. So I did 4 cups of noodles to 2 cups of chicken. I've got a cup of broccoli, and we can do more chicken if we need to. We'll put it right here on reserve. Just depends on how much chicken I feel like eating this week or what my ratio looks like. But if I don't use this, then I'll use this for a chicken salad sandwich for my husband or my son's lunch or my mom's lunch, or I'll just make a few chicken tacos during the day, and it's easy to go. So I've got my pot on high. I'm going to get my water boiling so I could get my 4 cups of noodles done. But in the interim, I'm going to start here. I use 2 cans of cream chicken with herbs. Delicious. I think this is just wonderful. I don't use a whole lot of cans for baking and stuff like that. But boy, this chicken herb, it's like the mushroom room. You can't go wrong with the mushroom. Chicken herb, mushroom, asparagus. There's some that are just so delicious. So I'm going to take this out, and what I'm going to do is just put it in my casserole dish. Okay, my water's coming up. And then I also have a can of good premium cheese. And I'm just going to use half that can, and then I'll put the other half in. And when I do my dinners this week, I'll use that somehow, some way. And if not, I'll freeze it, and then I'll have it for next time I make this casserole. So I just put basically the 2 cans of soup in here. I'm not going to add any liquids whatsoever. I want my casserole to be nice and creamy. I want it to have a lot of good, just herby flavor. So after I get the noodles and stuff done, then that's when we'll add actually our seasonings. I'm going to add celery salt, just 1 teaspoon, sage, 1 teaspoon, onion powder, 1 teaspoon, and garlic powder, 1 teaspoon. That's what I'll be doing to flavor everything. So I'm just going to put this in like this, so when I do dump the nice warm noodles and toss it, everything will come together. So like I said, this is a good premium cheese. I like it. You can use it on your vegetables too. A lot of times I'll use this one on our broccoli if we do it that way. I'm so excited though. We started, excuse me, I think I have to sneeze. Maybe I don't. It was a faux. But we started our gardens and started prepping everything, so we're ready for our growing of our vegetables. So I'm really super excited. So pretty soon I'll be able to cook with my own broccolis, my own onions, everything from my garden. I am so excited for that. So what I'm doing is I just want you guys to see the color of what I'm getting. It's a nice color. I don't want it too cheesy though. Excuse me. I don't want it too cheesy. I just want it to, and I don't want too much cheese to take over the flavor of my canned soup. So just with your fork, or your finger. It's your casserole. You're feeding your family. Perfect consistency. There's enough cheese. So like I said, all I'm going to do is take and reserve the rest of this cheese for another dinner. But one thing I like is that cheese. You do not have to use that cheese, but it gives a nice texture. It makes it a little bit thicker, the body of the sauce. And like I said, I don't want it runny whatsoever. I want it super nice and creamy. So what I'm going to do is just leave it like that. Okay, water's starting to come up to boil. I am going to go ahead and get these noodles boiled. And as soon as they're boiled, I'll go ahead and drain them. And then we'll come back and we'll assemble. Welcome back. Okay, pasta is nice and boiled. My rotini looks fantastic. It tastes delicious. So we're going to go ahead and just dump it all right in. I'm going to give it a fast toss. Because now what I'm going to do is put the other seasonings in because, you know, I like when my food is seasoned well. I think there's nothing better than a very good seasoned meal. So I'm going to go ahead with my sage. I'm going to just put in about a teaspoon. It's going to add to the chicken flavor. And I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle it on top. And do that. Hopefully it won't be so messy and touch the cheese. It's going to make a little bit of a mess there. I'm going to do my celery salt. Boy, I sure think celery salt just adds that action of salt that you need with the pasta. Because I did not put any salt in my pasta. Because I didn't want salt on salt and then have canned product that has salt in it already. That's good enough. There's a teaspoon of that. And working with all the herbs today, driving my nose crazy. It was probably because I was out in our garden today. In a couple of weeks, I'll be showing you our gardens, which are so wonderful. I love them. And like I said, it's going to bring a whole level of freshness to our food. You know, here it is so cold, we can't always grow what we need to grow. So I always get so excited when it's time to grow. We'll have fresh carrots, all these other things, just so much fun. Boy, it sure makes cooking fun too, you know, when it's your own, you know. But if not, and you're not into that, go to the store and buy them. It's easier, and it's probably in the long run a lot cheaper. So everything was a teaspoon. Garlic powder, onion powder, sage, and let's see here, my celery salt. Okay, make sure that's on nice. Okay, so I'll just use this one since I have everything. Okay, just gonna toss just a little bit. Let all this nice seasoning get into the cheese, pasta, and soup. Look at how thick this is. Now, it's going to thin out a little bit as we start to cook, though. Okay, I'm going to put the chicken in. I'm just going to go ahead and dump that in. And that's 2 cups of chicken. Like I said, I did a whole chicken in the crock pot because it's nice and easy. Then I was able to get the bags that I showed you. I was able to get 3 bags out of that. I've already made 1 dinner with it already. And then I have another one in the freezer, and I have this one. So if you do your whole chicken in the crock pot, just let it cool in the bag. I always take it out of the crock pot. I keep it just in its ceramic portion, let it cool for an hour. Then I put it directly in the freezer, and then the next day is when I go in and I debone it and everything, take everything good, skin, fat, stuff like that. I separate everything. The trick is with the crock pot is if you let it cool overnight, oh my gosh, it's so easy to get everything done. You don't have to burn your fingers. You don't have to worry about anything. So I give a good suggestion. Crock pot is one of the most amazing things to have to cook your food. Now, I think this has I think it has enough chicken, in my opinion, 2 cups. If you like more chicken, add more chicken. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the broccoli now. And I'm going to just mix it in. Oops. Don't throw it on the counter. I'm not going to mix it too much. I want it to be vibrant and nice and green. Plus, I want everybody to have what they want to have, you know. My family likes broccoli. And so I'm just going to keep it like that. Now, the next fun part I like is taking, first, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I have a half a cup of cheddar cheese. I'm just going to spread this on my casserole. Then I'm going to make the topping. I love the topping. It's Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs, and they're the garlic breadcrumbs. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know Progressive had those for the longest time. It was so funny. I was in the store, at a store that I don't normally shop at. Never would have expected that store to have that. And boy, they had these breadcrumbs. It's the garlic herb Progresso, and these are delicious. So what I do is I take my 4th cup and I put my breadcrumbs in, and then what I'm going to do is put it like this a little bit because I don't want to spill my good Parmesan cheese all over. So what I'm going to do is fill that little cap and let it just come over so that I have truly 1/4 cup of mixture. Now the trick is to take your fork and just mix it up. That Parmesan has a salt in it, and it just makes the breadcrumb from the garlic herb come out, and it just adds so much more flavor to my casserole. And you know, this is all really relatively inexpensive. Honestly, the most expensive thing I probably used was, it's really not even my chicken, because I think I got my chicken for like $5, and it was a big, big chicken. And I get to make 3 meals out of that chicken. So I would say, honestly, it was my can of cheese. That was the most money that I spent on this meal. The broccoli was cheap. I have the cheese in bulk. I always buy big. So I tell you, I do declare it was the can of nice premium cheddar cheese I used. But like I said, it won't go to waste because I can use it in any kind of dish. When we have broccoli this week, I can go ahead and top it. I can use it in my Mexican food as well. Nobody would ever know that it was just regular cheddar. So all I do is take it like that. Look at this casserole, looks absolutely beautiful. Really fast to make. If I weren't talking and showing you, you could probably whip this together, especially because you pre-cooked your chicken and froze your chicken. I suggest everybody pre-cook some meats and put them in your freezer so you can make fast dinners. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this in the oven on 400. As soon as the topping gets nice and brown and the cheese melts and the nice sauce is warm, we're ready to go. So it'll probably be about 15 minutes. So we'll be back as soon as this is done. Welcome back. Casserole is done. It took about 25 minutes to get it nice and crispy the way I like it. I'm going to go ahead and dish it up because I want to let you see how it looks. Woo, that little sucker is hot too. So I want you to see all the nice crunchy elements. I took a bite of it when it was in the oven. It was tasting delicious, really nice and seasoned. It has a lot of season. I got bored waiting for it to get out. So what I did is I made a little bit of bread. Just took some of my bread I had. Try not to waste anything ever. So I had some sweet Franco French rolls, which make good garlic bread. This time I didn't make it garlic. I just put some butter and a little tiny bit of Parmesan, and I did it this way just so we could have something to dip, because guess what? We already have our veg, we have our cheese, we have our noodle. So I'm thinking we were good to go. Let's just have a piece. But I am going to try it. I want you guys to see. And it is very, very, very seasoned well. Let me take a bite. I'm going to pull this closer to me, but that little sucker is hot. So I'm going to take a bite. Well, I better just take a small bite, though. Has tons of flavor from the soup. Tons of flavor from the extra seasonings I put in. I think you guys will like it. I hope If you like the content, you'll please like and subscribe. And I want to thank you for coming in and cooking with me, and we'll be making more stuff soon. Thank you.